Hi everyone! A new group for me, a new band for me today is Roxette. And as I sat down, I said, have I listened to Roxette before? Because so many band names, so many artist names, and sometimes I just can't keep up with it all. And somehow it sounded vaguely familiar. But Vlad said, no, you haven't. I said, okay, probably I listened to something it before. But today it is Roxette. And to my knowledge, I haven't listened to this on this channel. So the song is It Must Have Been Love. Let me read what I have here and then we'll listen. Roxette is a Swedish pop rock group formerly consisting of Marie Fredriksson, vocals and piano, and Per Gessle, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Gessle, vocals and guitar. They are Sweden's second best-selling music act after ABBA. Oh, okay. Well then, this could be nice. It Must Have Been Love, originally It Must Have Been Love, Christmas for the Brokenhearted, is a song written by Per Gessle and performed by this duo Roxette. The power ballad became the duo's third #1 hit in the United States and is one of their best-selling releases, being certified gold or platinum in a number of countries. It remains their most well-known and signature song. This is interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to this. The idea that it's the second best-selling music act after ABBA. And now they're talking about a power ballad. So clearly it's not an ABBA knockoff. But let's see what it really is. Almost sounds like sleigh bells in there. I'm listening to her voice, and maybe I need to listen to some more Scandinavian groups, although I've listened to several. But the reason I say that is somehow I notice a common thread in many of these Scandinavian female voices that end up being notable enough to listen to. And that is that they have a sort of depth, clarity, and edge to their voice without being harsh. I'm thinking of the ABBA voices, which are a bit richer than this Marie Fredriksson. Marie's voice is a little bit harder. The ABBA singers, a little bit richer, warmer. But as I've commented, ABBA always has this quality of deep sadness and melancholy in the voices, at least the songs that I've heard. I wouldn't say that this sounds so notably sad, but still the voice has this sort of common quality. And what is the other one that there have been a couple others I listened to. The one who was on the magazine cover this year. She wasn't Swedish. She was maybe Norwegian or something. maybe not Norwegian, some Scandinavian, Nordic, Iceland maybe? Björk, yeah. Yeah, Björk, that's it. I come back to these voices, and I find that this voice here, Marie Fredriksen's voice, fits somewhere in the middle between ABBA and Björk. And all of them have this particular quality that maybe it's an aesthetic that is appealing in that part of the world that makes them, with this type of voice, become popular. Or maybe there's something else at work that I am missing. But it's interesting to notice the common ground in all of these voices from that general part of the world. And I don't want to be too stereotypical or too assume too much. But this is what I notice in these voices. So, all right, keeping going. It's interesting. I'm listening to the sonic quality, and it feels very cold and icy. As I commented, there are these little chimes which they could almost pass as sleigh bells, right? But I'm listening to the chorus behind the vocal chorus. I'm listening to the instrumentation, the mix of everything, and it gives off a very cold, almost like blue ice feel, which her voice actually fits well within. And it's so interesting to have that musical feel, and then to be listening to lyrics that are talking about it being winter. Let's see. Leave the winter on the ground, I guess, came in there. Somehow I thought it had more references to winter, but maybe it's just my imagination now as I'm looking through the lyrics. But then it's talking about water. But in and outside, I turn to water. It must have been love, but it's over now. It's where the water flows. And for me, it's so weird to hear something that sounds so cold and icy, and then to hear the lyrics talking about the water flowing. It's a funny sort of conflict that I feel within myself. Those two ideas side by side. Well, it's actually not too strange when I start paying attention to what's being expressed. It must have been love, but it's over now. It's where the water flows. It's where the wind blows. The idea that if I'm taking this as a song of winter, cold, ice, this is the season of winter, then this expression, it must have been love, but it's over now. It's where the water flows. The love, this experience of love is perhaps a springtime experience, a summer experience, where the water flows, where the wind blows, the warmer season. It must have been love, but it's over now. Okay, I think I've kind of harmonized the two in my mind.
It's where the wind blows.
Doesn't it sound icy to you? even those chords, like ice cubes. Ching, ching, ching.
It must have been love, but it's over now. It must have been
The way the voices are handled in the recording.
It must have been love, but it's over now. From the moment we touched till the time had run out.
Such a winter landscape.
But it's over now. It was all that I wanted. Now I'm living without. It must have been love, but it's over now. It's where the water flows. It's where the wind
That is so interesting to me. What I just experienced with thinking that there was a whole lot more reference and talking about winter and coldness in the lyrics. Look, I had the lyrics right here in front of me. I wasn't reading them word for word, but I was listening and glancing from time to time. And somehow I ended up with the idea that this is lyrically, what she's singing is talking unquestionably about winter and cold and ice and that as being the expression of her present state of loneliness and the love experience being over. And when I stopped and I turned to the lyrics to start pointing it out, I suddenly realized it's hardly there. The only line I can see that expressly mentions anything winter related is the fourth line. So it starts out, must have been love, but it's over now. Lay a whisper on my pillow, leave the winter on the ground. I don't see anything else. Oh, no, there's one more line. But in and outside I turn to water like a teardrop in your palm, and it's a hard winter's day. It's a hard winter's day. Okay, there are two lines. Let me just go through here and make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, that's all. That is all. In all this song, which is over 4 minutes long, there are only two lines, one near the beginning, one in the middle, that expressly talk about winter and relate this experience to winter. Somehow, I got the impression that it was all over the place in here. It was the music that did that to me. The music created this wintry world. How did it do that? Well, I think there are several things at play here. First of all, it is the rather spare musical landscape, meaning we have the drums, we have instruments backing the voice, and there are actually quite a variety, but it's not a really thick orchestration. You don't have lush sound mixes. You also don't have a lot of the mid-range instruments. Think cello, think guitar, think that tenor, baritone, alto range in the middle that really warms up the sonic experience. Even the bass, which can also add some depth and warmth, was not really prominent. Instead, most of what we were hearing that was drawing our attention, not that other stuff wasn't present, but that was drawing our attention, were more in the treble range. The little chimey type sounds, the voices, the other instrumental parts, and all of them had either a very smooth sound, like I'm going to say a flute-like sound. And the reason I'm not naming instruments specifically is because I feel like these are kind of synthesized or otherwise not the real in your hands instrument. So I'm going to say smooth flute-like sounds, cold chimey bell-like sounds, and even the handling of the voices with the reverb and whatever else they did to the voices also gave it this sort of icy cold quality. All of that contributed to this feeling of, as I said, a cold blue ice winter landscape. Hard, crystalline, and cold. Somehow, what they did with this music worked so well that it fooled me with the lyrics. It did. I only had 2 lines speaking of winter, and yet, when I paused in that moment, I thought that I was going to be pointing out all kinds of references to the cold, the winter, all of this relating to this state of love is over. That was kind of a strange moment, but fun to notice, because here is a great example of how music alone can influence what we think we're hearing. And even as I'm sitting here paying attention, reading the lyrics, the music influenced what I thought I was hearing lyrically. Music is incredibly powerful and can have a huge influence on our perceptions of the world around us and the messages that we're hearing. Well, of course, that's why music is such a crucial part of any movie you watch, of any advertisement you see on TV, all of these things. Sound is powerful. And this is just a great, spontaneous, unexpected example of me as a musician, listening intently, analytically, and still it fooled me. So kind of fun. That was Roxette. Now I've got to check out what else they've done, and I'm sure we'll have some more Roxette coming in the future. I'll see you soon.